That's enough sneaking around. Why are you following me?
We're not following anyone. We're just headed east to the woods.
Liar! You're out to spy on how the dye's made. Planning to cut in on my margin?
We were entranced, you see. The dye's beauty stole my breath away.
Oh, hello, handsome.
The names ring a bell. If you've the time, I'd love to get to know you and your product much better.
Well, I really shouldn't. It's a secret. But maybe if you promise not to tell. It's extracted from the marrow of giant snakes. Orochi, they're called. The girls of Florum worship them as gods, yet they're too busy playing dress-up to notice. The vain little monsters. Still, my organization appreciates their cooperation. That's our plan, see? The extract's full of nitafix. It's an addictive hallucinogen. And they're scratching and clawing to get their hands on it. Florum won't last a month. Oh, but I really must be going. Can't keep Artemia waiting. I hope I'll see you again soon, though, ring a bell.
You're mad if you think I'm letting you just walk away.
What? Who are you? Ring a bell's girlfriend? Oh, you cad! You led me on!
First I'm going to retch, then I'm going to pummel you! The whole forest reeks of death.
These bodies, are these all woodland orochi?
There are more that way, hung over tree branches. And over there, the sheer number of bodies is mind-boggling.
These creatures are revered as Florum's guardians, and now the forest stands at the edge of death. Who would do this?
Halt! Ranger Artemia.
Idea traitor! Traitors die!
Was it you who killed the Orochi? To make the dye?
Artemia hunt many Orochi!
And now you're poisoning human bodies and minds with the results. Has the Blood Rose Legion's purpose always been so pathetically base?
Artemia, obey! Only obey! Sister's orders, only truth!
Sister? You mean Einherja is complicit in this madness? That's not... She's a better woman than that. A noble woman.
Not for you to decide. Sister, not your possession.
I never said she was. I asked you whether Einherja truly ordered you to do this. And if she did, why did you just mindlessly obey? If she came to me, so obviously not herself, I'd have stopped her. By force if needed. You're her sister. You must have had the chance to dissuade her.
How Artemia live, not yours to say. How sister think, not yours to say. Artemia not tell sister how to think. How sister think, tell how Artemia live. Only sister tell how Artemia live.
That's no answer. You've just given up all thought. Become a puppet! Do you have any idea how many people are suffering for what you've done?
Don't care. Idea still tells sister how to live?
If what you've said is true, you and she and the whole Legion are black as pitch. I'll put a stop to this. Let me see Einherja. I'll talk sense to her.
Artemia, hunt. Hunt all prey. All in range. Artemia's prey.
Don't change the subject!
Nothing runs. Nothing escapes. As long as prey has pulse, keep firing. Never miss! Never!
Have you gone mad?
This isn't insanity. It's bloodlust. The girl's gone completely feral.
You, Idea, Ray,
What?
Ray, chase, hunt, Artemia, run, catch, thrill, hunger, heart racing, fire, burn, hands trembling. Hunt is on.
It's made of what? And toxic, what's more? I'll work to spread the word. With luck, this lunacy will cease soon.